Alright, what is going on everybody over at Anthem Central? How you guys all doing today? My name is Matt and welcome back to the channel, and I'm bringing you guys a little analysis video I thought about. This is something I really haven't done on this channel before, but I want to bring you guys a video on three very plausible and kind of important reasons, to me at least, why Anthem could possibly fail. Now of course, this is from a very pessimistic point of view. Obviously I've had a lot of videos from an optimistic point of view, but as a natural gaming critic, I feel like this is something that might be entertaining to talk about, and just to think about where this game could possibly go wrong. Because there have been a lot of games that really have gone wrong in the past. And you know, when you think about it, there were a lot of games that were definitely engineered for success and for some reason just managed to flop miserably. And I think a lot of sales figures show that, a lot of online relevancy, kind of, you know, examples kind of could showcase that as well. But there are a lot of games that were definitely engineered to be successful, starting all the way back to the Atari 2600 with the E.T. movie-based game on the Atari 2600, which back in the day was supposed to be the biggest hit ever, but due to poor management and rushed production, that game managed to bomb back in like 1982. So there's always been this type of kind of, you know, anticipation, build-up, and disappointment process that kind of goes on with just about every game. And I thought about three reasons and asked you guys on Twitter and Discord, by the way, you should join them if you haven't, about three reasons why Anthem could possibly fail. So the first reason that comes to my mind is a type of repetitive, dull content. You know, we're talking about bullet sponges here, because you do see this a lot with certain games, and I think Destiny is probably the biggest example of this. And obviously Destiny was far from a failure, but it could have been much more successful if the content genuinely felt more interesting and less dull and friggin' repetitive, man. And I think a lot of people felt that way, and that's why certain people, even though they may have purchased the game, decided to stop playing it and or not buy the DLC, because they felt that this game was loaded with bullet sponges and just really repetitive, annoying content that really didn't feel fulfilling. Now, at least in my eyes, you have to try to achieve one of two things with content. You either have to kind of invoke some type of emotion or feeling or connect this content to a story. And I think Halo does that remarkably. There are certain missions that might not be the most exciting, but man, do they convey a certain emotion, and they really do tie into this heroic story that everybody falls in love with. Everyone loves the Halo story, and it's one of the few games where I really love the lore. And it's like, wow, man, you know, even if this mission isn't the most exciting, Halo manages to do it well. And then the second scenario is simply a fun, exciting mission that doesn't feel like every other game you've ever played. I find there's a certain balance you have to find between leaving people completely in the dark, completely lost, not knowing what to do, or going too far to just point and click, follow the map. You know, that gets boring as well. And I think a great example of this, kind of meeting somewhere in the middle really, are the Doom games. Because man, you know, when you have to find the blue key at the beginning of Doom 64, holy shit, dude, it's wicked. It is an unbelievable experience. And it might sound so simple, but man, they managed to do it well. In Anthem, I think with these, you know, kind of single player missions and stories and stuff, they need to either take one of those two approaches, hopefully a successful blend of both. You gotta have some type of, you know, conveying an emotion or really tying into the story, or something that's simply fun and unique. And I think if they're able to blend those two together, they'll be on the right track. Reason number two, I think poor advertising is a horrible kind of downfall that a lot of games face nowadays. And I think that the problem is really that a lot of gamers really aren't interested in, I think, you know, certain kind of genres like this anymore. RPGs definitely aren't as big as they were, say, a decade ago. So Anthem is kind of breaking into a bit of a tough market, with Destiny kind of being the overruling kind of game, and even Destiny has shown a sharp decline recently in popularity. So Anthem's coming in at a very bad time and in a very difficult kind of place. But I think if they advertise this game right, I think they'll manage to do this properly. If they're able to connect kind of the audience, people who are watching these trailers, if they're able to connect those people with the javelins, and again, I think story is such an important thing here. If you're able to connect people to those story elements and really get people interested in what exactly this game is showcasing, I think they'll do a much better run in, you know, the long run, of course, over time. And I think also getting this game, you know, on Twitch, on YouTube, I know a lot of people in my comments, you know, when I did that whole PvP debate, a lot of people in my comments were were saying that, hey man, you know, this isn't relevant, and who cares if the game's popular on Twitch? And it might seem like a very irrelevant thing, but I think it's actually a very important factor. Obviously not the only reason why the game should sell well, but I think it would be nice if the game had some online relevancy. I think people don't really realize how much the sort of online kind of relevancy of a certain game may correlate to more DLC sales, may correlate to more overall purchases of the game in the long run. And again, there's no statistic on that. That's the problem. You know, you can't really survey people and say, oh, out of, you know, people watching Twitch, who went out and bought Destiny sheerly from watching it on Twitch? I don't know, man, but all I'm saying is I think it's a good idea, man. Keep this game relevant, keep this game up there on those charts, man. I think that's something they should go for. And the final reason, the third reason at least, that comes to my mind is general lack of innovation, and a real kind of dismal end game, I think, could really kind of slow the progress of Anthem. And I think that kind of comes down to it with a lot of other games as well recently. But when you look at the end game, there has to be something going on. And I know it's a horrible example. Oh my god, people hate saying this, but really, Minecraft does that wonderfully. Because after, you know, defeating the Ender Dragon and going through all these missions and stuff and doing, you know, your Minecraft, you know, quest or whatever, you know, after doing all this, you have a lot of stuff to do still in Minecraft. You build your base, you invite friends up, there's always something to do, always something going on. And I think that sort of, I guess, kind of connection that you make to a player of a game who always has something to work on, I think is definitely not only inspiring, but also does keep people coming back week after week. I will compliment Destiny here and say that with the, you know, the strikes and the raids and whatever, they always do have their fans coming back. Now, obviously, for some of the other Destiny sins, as I mentioned earlier in the video, there are some problems with it, believe me. But one thing I'll say Destiny does well is for the people that already like the game, for the people that are interested in the game, they do come back week after week with, you know, having Xur in the game every Friday. He sells new guns and stuff. That's a wonderful idea. Anthem should definitely copy that. I think that'd be a wonderful idea. But something like that to keep the game going, to keep the game innovative, to keep the end game something worth playing. And again, I know I'm gonna get shot for this, but I'm just saying PvP would be something nice. I'm sorry. In this circumstance, PvP would be nice. Keep people coming back after they finish what they believe is to be completed with the story, to come back and play PvP, I think is, I'm sorry, a good idea. Even if you don't agree on PvP, I think we all could reach a common solution that there needs to be something, some reason for people to come back and make their return to Anthem every day or every week. That being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Man, it's like an 8-minute video for 3 reasons. I don't know, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, definitely drop a like and subscribe if you all are new. Thank you all so much for 700 subscribers. It means the world, guys. If you are new, of course, join our Discord, join our Twitter. Much appreciated. And if you guys made up to this point in the video, let's comment Ranger down below. That's a javelin we haven't done in a little while. Comment Ranger down below in the comments. Show us you made it to the 7.5-minute mark of this video. Thank you guys so much as always. My name is Matt, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.